Hi guys, thanks to everyone already joining the webinar. We'll wait just 3 more minutes and then we will start. And hello to the guys in the chat. Hello Juan, greetings to Stockholm. Thank you for joining. Hello guys. Hello Lohit, hello Renato.
So it's a good time to get a coffee right now before we start.
Yeah, we're recording the session. So say later to the assistants we will share the material, also the presentation. So yeah, that's fine. We will share the information with you. Hello, Armand. Hello, Ravis. Good to see you here. Hello, Martin. Or hola to tell you that the best. Hello, Arpad. Hello, Dennis and Eric. Okay, guys. Well, one last test before starting. If you can all raise your hands, just to be sure that you can listen to us clearly, would be great.
So Manuel, it's great to see that what is it, almost 85% of the registered participants are already joining the webinar today. This is good news.
Yeah, most people here already. So just one thing, we were waiting for Todd to rejoin. We had a bit of a technical thing with one of our guys, but no worries. We'll be back in a minute, and then we're ready to go. Hello to all the guys saying hi in the chat. So Marco, Colin, Mohamed, Alberto. See more guys. Javier, Maria Joana. So yeah, hello everyone. Thanks for joining. Hello Costas. And we also invite you, if you have some insights during the presentation, please feel free to comment. We want also for you to participate if there's any particular points that also you want us to speak more about, or you have any questions, please comment on the chat or write on the Q&A area next to the chat, and we will be happy to discuss and answer all your questions.
And also, Manuel, if we cannot answer the questions immediately or during the webinar, our team from marketing and technical, the FA guys will collect all these questions, and we will reply the questions to every customer.
Hello to the last guest joining. Hello, Cobus, Martin again. I see you. Hello, Stephen. Okay, guys, one more minute and we're good to go.
Manuel, hi. Hello, Manuel.
Oh, okay, we can hear you now. We'll come back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys, just before starting, one last reminder. If you have any comments, please feel free to write on the chat and also on the Q&A. And we have some colleagues that can reply some questions over the chat, but we will try to answer as much as possible during the conversation or in the end with the Q&A session. So I think we're good to go. So thank you very much to everyone for joining. So pretty much all people registered is here, so we're good to start. Thanks again for joining, and let's go. So again, welcome everyone to our Driving Smarter Cold Chain Solutions webinar. My name is Manuel Mendoza. I'm putting my camera so you can see me. And today I'll be your host. I'm International Sales Manager for Europe here at Quicklink, and I'm based in Vilnius, Lithuania. Originally, I'm Mexican, so it's pretty, as you can see, it's pretty international company. So I work with the European partners. So any companies from Europe, if you need anything, please feel free to reach out. And together with me today, as you can see, with the panelists, we have a pretty international and experienced team joining from our different offices across the world. So I will introduce right now the team joining for the webinar today, and also the contents that we will see during this session. So guys, if you want to turn your camera so that the people can see first, we have Alejandro Patiño, who is our Vice President of Global Sales. He's at the Shanghai office, and he will give us a keynote opening and also some interesting insights about this situation that we all heard about the electronic component supply. So welcome, Alejandro, and say hi to our audience today.
Hi, Manuel. Thank you for the introduction. And thanks to all the customers and partners joining this special webinar that we have prepared for Europe. As Manuel mentioned, I'm Alejandro Patiño. I'm the global and responsible person for the global sales at Quicklink. I'm originally from Colombia. I've been here in Shanghai for almost 16 years. And yeah, maybe I will never leave. So let's see what happens. So thank you and welcome everyone.
Thanks a lot, Alejandro. And then together with me, we have our colleagues, Gabriel Hernandez and Ivan Jerkovic. They are also international sales managers for Europe, and we will speak about some insights in general about the cold chain market and also our advanced cold chain solutions, meaning more about what we have learned because of working with some specialized companies within this industry, and what are the values that we can bring with our solutions. So welcome, guys.
Hi, everyone. As Manuel mentioned, I am Gabriela, International Sales Manager. I'm based in Odense, Denmark, and thank you everyone for joining us today.
Hello, my name is Ivan Jerkovic. It's a great pleasure to be here with you. I send you greetings from Belgrade, Serbia. Looking forward to talking with you later.
Thank you very much, guys. Then for the third part, we will speak about cold chain product recommendations. So we will go more specific about certain products and how to implement them for cold chain or temperature monitoring solutions. And for this part, my colleagues Taha Boros and Abrar Parka will join us. They're mainly working with the Middle East region, so they're also very familiar with this type of solutions. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. I'm Taha Boras, a field application engineer. I'm based in China. So welcome abroad, and I hope you will join this webinar. Thank you so much.
Okay, hi everyone. This is Abrar Parker, International Sales Manager for Middle East, being based in Dubai. And thank you for joining this webinar. I can see many of my clients from the Middle East have already joined in, also from India. So that's good. So stay tuned, and we will be unveiling our wide portfolio of cold chain solutions. So be ready. Thank you for joining.
Thanks a lot, guys. And last but not least, we have Marian Sudik. So he's a technical support director for these two regions we're speaking about right now, Europe and Middle East. And he's joining us from Croatia. Marian will give us an example of a success story of a use case with one of our partners on a temperature monitoring solution, and also provide some overview of the QuickLink roadmap, like the latest products that we have launched during this year and what we will launch on the upcoming months, say until the end of still of 2021 and the beginning of 2022. Welcome, Marian. Just that you're muted.
Got that. Thank you very much. Thanks, Manuel. So I see a lot of familiar faces on the webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Marian Sudik. I'm the Technical Support Director for the EMEA region. I'm based in Croatia in a beautiful new office, which you may have seen the post about. And it's a pleasure for me to be able to present to you a success story and the QuickLink product roadmap. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Okay, guys. So now we'll start. And for as I mentioned, for the introduction, we'll use the chance also to present some insights about the electronic component supply that it's affecting not any specific companies, but the entire industry, including telematics and of course all electronic product companies. So we all hear about this from no matter which supplier you use. So we want to be more transparent, give as much information as we can, so you can fully understand what's going on in the world lately. So I give the floor to Alejandro, so he can give us some insights about this.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Manuel. I mean, first of all, I would like to thank all the customers, the audience, and I want to usually call the partners of QuickLink to this webinar that we have prepared related to the cold chain and the smart solution for this type of products. Hopefully, after we complete this webinar, all our customers will understand much better our solutions, our devices, and we together can generate more business opportunities. Definitely, the cold chain is a very important and growing market. Since 2, 3, or 4 years ago, the volumes and the opportunities are increasing exponentially. So as Manuel mentioned, I think I would like to spend a few minutes, probably 10 to 15 minutes, to talk about this important issue, or this important problem that we are all facing related to the electronic components, supply chain, and the long lead times that we are facing, not only QuickLink or QuickLink suppliers, but also in different fields like car manufacturers and everything that is related to the electronics. So I have to say that since the end of last year, probably since Q3, around August, September of last year, when we talk to the customers, they are always asking the question of what is going on, what is happening with the electronic components, why the manufacturers and the companies that supply and produce the chipset and the semiconductors cannot keep up with the growing demand. So we are just all the time talking about this question, but before we answer this question, we need to understand what happened, and we need to understand the facts between 2020 and 2021. So the first problem, or the first fact, was related, of course, to the COVID-19. All the pandemic and all the things related to the pandemic and all the panic and the situation, what it created was that most of the factories, not only companies related to the electronic components and chipset, what they do, they just stay in a standby mode, and they lower the production of the products, and in some cases they even stop completely the production. So the second point, as many of you guys know, is related to the geopolitical situation that we face during the Donald Trump administration. For some regulations, they create a black list for some companies in Asia, especially in China. So these companies couldn't supply the products or the components to the different companies. Another important point is by chance, some companies, especially this one, the AKM, a Japanese factory, burned on fire between July and August. And another companies in Japan and Korea happened the same situation. They just burned on fire. And these companies are very important. They're very important suppliers for the electronic components. And some of these electronic components are related specifically to our industry. So for the communication modules and the GPS tracking devices. So what we heard is that it will take about 6 months to 1 year to put these factories together and ramp up the production and provide all the components that the market needs. The point number 4 was of course, as you guys know, all the companies and the governments worldwide are pushing the entities to go green, and they want to reduce the pollution. So this is creating a very high demand for the electric cars. So this, in every electric car, there are about more than 100 chipset or semiconductors. So yeah, the more that this demand increase, the more demand will be for chipsets. Also, the point number 5, yes, as everybody knows, when the pandemic happened, the people need to go and work from home. They need to get more tablets, more mobile phones. Of course, everybody's staying home, so we need to keep the time busy. So we usually bought Xbox and PlayStation, some things to entertain, or for example, also TVs and equipment for the gym. So all these products, the same thing. We need to have a chipset and semiconductors to produce. So this demand on these kind of products also create a bigger problem. And the last one, the last problem was related to, of course, again, to the COVID, but because of the COVID, many of the frequent flyers, the frequency of the flyers and the sea shipments were reduced. Just for example, if from Shanghai to San Francisco, we used to have one flight every day. Right now, we have probably maybe one a week or twice a week. So all this is also creating problems with the logistics. So now that we understand the facts and the things that happened during last year and the beginning of this year, now we can see what will be the consequence of the results for the electronic components industry in 2021 and the 2022. So the first one and the second one are kind of related. They are, of course, because of the demand of the semiconductors and the chipset is bigger than the output and the production output. So the semiconductors delivery time is increasing a lot. For example, before we can place the orders for semiconductors and we can get a delivery time about 30 days. And right now, just to give you an idea, these 30 days increased to probably 3 months, 4 months, 6 months for regular components. And in some special cases and products related, for example, with the canvas, the time can even go to 1 year. So it's a little bit complicated. The chipset shortages also affected many industries, as I said before. For example, even the car manufacturers that are one of the most important industries, they have to stop the factories. I mean, there was no, in Brazil, in Mexico, in Europe, many of the guys like Volkswagen, General Motors in US, they completely stopped the production. If I call it right, I remember that the automotive industry lost more than 110 billion US dollars in last year. The third point, another problem or another consequence is that TSMC is it's a Taiwanese company. They are one of the biggest companies worldwide that produce the semiconductors. They invested about 28 billion US dollars in new facilities and in order to increase the capabilities. But the problem is that everything related to the production of the chipset and semiconductors is very complex. There are a lot of things that they are not so easy to control and to increase the capability. So we are seeing that it will take probably between 3 to 5 years, all this process, the new factories, increase the capacity, and it will take about between 3 to 5 years to be able to keep up with the current demand of electronic components. So with the point number 4 is more like the answer to the previous question. And definitely the demand for electronic components, for chipset and semiconductors totally exceed the market or the capacity for these companies for the output of the production and to supply to the market. So if the demand is exceed, so what we can see right now is that there is zero stock for many companies in the industry, especially the competitors and other they don't have any stock right now, and they're facing difficult times because especially if the companies are small or medium size, they don't have the relationship with the suppliers, and they don't have the pocket to buy the components and to order the components for a long time. So they are facing a very difficult situation, and they don't have a stock availability at the moment. We have to play with with anything that we can get, or anything that the suppliers are giving us to us and to the competitors. We're playing with these resources, with the allocations. So we are working with very close with the customers and trying to supply all the orders that we are receiving from the customers. But in case that we cannot do it, we will always try to find the best way to deal with this kind of situations. Of course, the component price increase. I mean, this is it's a difficult situation if the manufacturers for chipset and semiconductors cannot supply enough products. The normal situation is that the price will increase, and this price increase will be reflected also on the price of the finished products. It's not only in the products related to the GPS tracking, also, as I mentioned before, for cars, for computers, for video games, and all this, the price for the end customer will increase. And the last and the most difficult situation is that we will not find enough products in the market to be able to supply it to the products, the demand, the total demand. So this is the most difficult part. What I want to say today is that I would say we know the situation pretty well in the market. What I have to say is that from all the different suppliers, we are probably in the best position. So this is good news. Queclink has got very good results on the first half of the year. Many of you are our regular customers, and as you guys see, we are still delivering our products on time. We have to say that maybe 90% we are delivering the products on time. We are trying to continue doing like this during 2021, 2022. The situation we think is not going to get better in 2022, but as I said before, we are in a good condition. We plan well in advance. We see all these problems related to the electronic components. We foresee these problems since last year, so we took an early action, and our purchasing team in China has a very good relationship with the chipset vendors and the semiconductor vendors. So we play a very big and good orders in advance. So we are in a very good position. So this is the good news that I want to share. Of course, it's totally and very important that we and the customers work very close to the sales managers of Queclink. We need to get a good, accurate forecast in advance, so we can, of course, prepare the right amount of components and keep delivering the product for our customers on time. If you guys want to review, or you want to understand better the situation related to the component, the chipset, the semiconductors, you guys can click and visit these two websites that we have provided on the presentation. So yeah, Manuel, I think this is all what I want to say about the electronic component situation. Thank you very much for attending to this webinar that we have especially prepared for Europe and Middle East region. And yeah, now let's continue and let's discuss more in more details the different solutions related to the cold chain market.
Okay, thanks a lot, Alejandro. I think this is valuable information for everyone in the industry, and yeah, we share. So you're sure that we are as transparent as possible, and we're not trying to hide anything from our partners. So the closer we work with the partners, the better. And yeah, like that is that we're handling this situation, and we see that, yeah, despite the fact of all these issues and complications, we're moving forward, and we're actually doing pretty good. So yeah, we hope that we can work with all of you soon. So now we will start with the main topic of the day, and I will give you a brief background of the cold chain industry, what we're expecting, and also some general insights. We at Quicklink see a great potential in the cold chain tracking and monitoring market. According to some market research reports, this specific segment will reach a value of $1 billion US globally by 2025, compared to a bit more than 500 million in 2020. So as you can see, this growth of 13% per year. And we know firsthand about this growth of the industry, since we work closely with some of the world leading companies specialized on the cold chain logistics segment, and have experienced this volume growth delivering products for them for some special projects focused only on cold chain. So we have seen firsthand the growth year on year, and we can certify that this information it's true. About the shipments of cellular or IoT devices for cold chain, it is expected that they reach 2 million units in 2025 compared to about 1 million units in 2020. So this is about 25% growth year on year. And based on this, the installed base of tracking devices for cold chain is forecasted to increase from 2.5 million by the end of 2020 to 6.2 million units by 2025. As you know, like this type of market research sometimes are a bit general. So we think that it might be even bigger, at least based on the products that we have deployed for this segment. We think that it could be even bigger than this.
Yeah, Manuel, and especially with the same again with the vaccines and all these new markets, more and more customers are demanding this kind of cold chain products to all the time check about the temperature, humidity. So this is these values and these numbers are related to the previous situation. I truly believe that the cold chain potential is much bigger than this.
Yeah, totally agree. So yeah, this is just a general overview, but yeah, we consider this could be considerably bigger. Now about cold chain, there are some key challenges for this industry. As you know, temperature sensitive goods represent in general a logistic challenge because failing to maintain them at specific temperatures or within accepted ranges can result in substantial economic losses because of different reasons. So of course, this can be prevented by having the correct monitoring solutions. And we have identified 4 key challenges that you can see here on the presentation. First, we consider the data loss one of the key challenges. And since refrigerated goods can travel by different ways of transport until they reach the final destination, it is common that the companies lose at some point some temperature or humidity data throughout the trip. So we need to ensure a good connectivity and data storing with a reliable device to make sure that we don't lose this information. One, to be sure that we can react on time, but also in such case to decide who was responsible in case of some damage. And speaking then about the second key challenge, precisely, we consider the cargo damage. because it's clear that if you don't get the required alerts on time, the quality and integrity of the goods might be compromised. Some clear examples like perishable foods are likely to spoil and become unsafe to consume, while other products like vaccines or medicines may not be that effective if they're not transported or stored at the required temperature. So the problematic here is that if we don't have the correct information, the goods and the products can just be lost. Now the next 2 points, especially when we're speaking about battery powered devices, there are 2 points to consider. The first one, the air cargo regulation, and this is a unique feature that we have developed specifically for this type of segments. Most trucking devices on the market don't comply with air cargo transportation requirements, so we developed an automatic switch to flight mode for cases when the goods are transported by air. So this one main feature we have developed for this type of verticals. And then the last point is the device standby time. In general, for all battery powered devices, it's hard to find a sweet spot between the battery life and the small form factor. So our experience on such verticals and mainly the help of our partners help us to get a correct balance between those two points, like having a small device that still can provide a long battery life and get the required data for a cold chain solution. And now some common application scenarios. So as you know, like the first thing that comes to mind when we're speaking about cold chain is the most evident ones, like food or medicines. So yeah, we can see here on this slide some of the main segments or types of products where we can find a cold chain solution. So between the food, we can see very standard things like fruits and vegetables, wine, fish and meat, or dairy products, and it's most likely one of the or if not the major segment where we need cold chain solutions. Then of course we have the vaccine or medical sector. That, you know, like now, as Alejandro mentioned, it became trendy because the COVID-19 situation brought up high volumes of vaccine transportation, but this is something that is transported every day, from vaccines to medicines to organs meant for donation. So this is also a pretty big segment on cold chain, particularly for these two verticals, let's say food and medicines, is that we have had projects together with some cold chain experts where we developed special projects for them. My colleague Gabby will explain a bit more during her slides about this type of customized solutions that we developed for special cases. And then apart from that, we have other types of products, for example, like chemicals like paints or products for personal care, where chemical degeneration will occur if temperature exceeds some industry standards. So it is important also to have a cold chain solution, and also some other products like electronic components, because temperature fluctuations might cause metallic corrosion that will damage the products. Apart from this type of products, there are also other applications that are not necessarily cold chain, but that require a temperature monitoring solution. So, for example, machinery or specialized tools might require working under specific conditions. So, high levels of moisture or temperature might cause them to malfunction and cause great economic losses for repairs. So we can also find some other verticals where we need a temperature monitoring solution or a device that can provide this type of application. So this is very much in general an introduction to the segment and some ideas that you can search within your network of partners or current customers where you might apply a cold chain or temperature monitoring solution. So now for the next part, my colleagues Gabi and Ivan will present you a bit more specific, like why you should consider QuickLink for this type of markets and products. So yeah, now I'll give the word to Gabi and Ivan.
Manuel.
And thanks to all. Sure, tell me.
Manuel, it seems like your newborn baby want to take the host. Do you want to take it?
Yeah, she's only here and she wants to participate. Okay, guys. So yeah, Gabi and Ivan, please, or if anyone at the audience has any questions, please let us know.
Thank you, Manuel. Good day to you all. So let's move to the next section of the webinar and talk about why choose QuickLink. QuickLink, as one of the leading manufacturers in the telematics industry, offers diverse products for cold chain logistics. As you know, these products have been successfully designed in partnership with some of the major players in the refrigerator cargo market. And something very important when it comes to handling temperature critical products is experience and technology. Since 2012, our cold chain tracking devices have been mass deployed worldwide to monitor from high value pharmaceuticals, as Manuel gave you some examples, to consumable food and beverages. Our devices ensure that the transported refrigerated and frozen products arrive at their destination in the agreed conditions. As you can see in the next slide, you will see some pictures of our FAE teams that always had an extensive test for different GPS trackers, along with built-in-house temperature and humidity sensor. All of this is to confirm the performance and reliability in real scenarios that you, our customers, face. We have tested battery built-in trackers like our GL500MG with BLE. We also have tested wired trackers like the GV350, GV800, GV600MG. We will explain more details about our devices in the next section of the webinar. And all these tests always in collaboration with our partners to ensure that we deliver the best possible performance. Let's talk now about customization. More than just providing personalized and reliable solutions, we consider our customized solutions as strategic collaborations to extend the potential of our customer business operations. Here you can see our customization process. And let me give you an example to explain this process in an easy way. Last year, we developed an asset tracker for a company in Germany. This company contacted other manufacturers, but they feel like it was taking very long time to be able to develop this device. So they got in contact with Marian in LinkedIn, and Marian immediately arranged a call with our commercial team and the customer. This to see how was the requirement, if it was something serious, to discuss also the volumes. And this meeting was in June. After reviewing all the requirements and our customer project timeline, they let us know that they needed the first 20 samples to be delivered in September. So you can see the time that is taking us to start with this. We assigned a team to confirm what was all the hardware and software requirements, get the prototype design, open the tooling, and make all the testing. And we did deliver the first 20 samples in September, as we agreed. After this, our customer tests the device, and of course, you have to make some modifications and check. So we delivered the golden samples, that it was a total of 210 pieces in October. After the approval of these samples and the customer agree on everything, we started with the certification process for CE and FCC. And following the schedule that we agree on June, we prepare all the components for the first mass production order that it was delivered in Q1 of this year. So you can see that the process took us less than 6 months. That's why we ask you, if you have any customized solution that you would like us to help you with, just to contact us, to let us know, to discuss everything, and we can help you to bring your idea into reality in a short period of time. We have been developing not only this was a project for an asset tracker, but we also have been developing other devices for cold chain that is a wireless data logger or some disposable asset trackers. We also have developed devices for scooters and insurance telematics. So we are open to discuss about what you need, and we have the team and the experience to make it happen. Okay, we can move to the next.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gaby, before you go to the next slide, I see a customer is seems like interesting on this customization solution. So he's asking what is QuickLink minimum order quantity for this type of customized products or solutions?
Okay, here we can let our customer know that it's depending on what is that you require, because the MOQ depends on if what you need is a firmware change only, then we can check what is the requirement, if our development team can make it, and then maybe we can include it in the standard firmware with a small MOQ. But if it's something more complicated and you need a completely new device, as I mentioned, that you need to open a tooling and it's everything new, then we will ask for an MOQ of 50K a year. But as I said, the important is that you let us know your requirements, and after this we can agree on the MOQ.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Any other questions before I move into the next section?
No. Let's continue, and probably we can answer more questions later.
Perfect. Okay, as I mentioned, whether you're looking for a customized solution or for a standard devices, we have got you covered. In our portfolio, you will find several different battery powered trackers. That is an excellent choice for easy installation and to simplify all these operational requirements. As you can find wired telematic devices that can be connected with temperature and humidity sensors. All of this to ensure that the required temperatures are maintained through all the entire while high value items are being transported. As you also know, we are very well recognized in battery power asset security trackers. With over 1 million worldwide deployments, we have established ourselves as a leader in the asset security market. And as I mentioned, we offer cold chain tracking devices with best-in-class battery performance that are ideal for long-distance transport. I will now leave the floor to Ivan to keep with this part of the presentation.
Thank you, Gaby. So we are going to explore a few more concepts and points important for cold chain, and then I'm going to leave you with my colleagues with the practical side of our webinar today. So when we are talking about data collection, beforehand, we should mention that data analysis is a very important part of the decision process. Also, that the data analysis is only good as the quality of the data obtained. So therefore, the on-field equipment that provides the information necessary for making the right decisions must be reliable. So having that in mind, and as mentioned a few times before, we constantly work with some of the major global logistics companies to ensure maximum stability and quality of the devices we manufacture. Because we understand that the information our partners receive has to be accurate. If there are any doubts about their collection, the decision-making process can be compromised, and so everything that goes along with it. So why do we mention all the time that we are working constantly with the logistics companies? Because it may sound like bragging a little bit, but in fact it is. But because of the knowledge we receive and 10 years of experience we have working in this industry, which in fact helped us to build our portfolio for cold chain solutions and for asset tracking, in fact. So now you can, in our portfolio, you can find devices for almost every situation, and also Manuel mentioned the connectivity. So we have devices on 2G, 3G, LTE with 2G fallback. Now LP1 devices, so Sigfox enabled, LoRa enabled devices. So to achieve the most accurate data collection, we chose two paths for developing our devices. We developed trackers that contain built-in sensors for recording temperature, humidity, and light levels, making them ideal for monitoring perishable goods, such as fruit, vaccines, now other pharmaceuticals. Also, we offer a possibility of connecting and integrating third-party sensors to allow even greater precision, accuracy, and flexibility. So you will hear more about this and other use cases later on in the webinar. Modern technologies such as IoT paired with the advanced analytics are used to create something like a real-time digital twin of your supply chain. With our hardware solutions, processing events every second to give you diagnostic and predictive insights, including real-time location, condition, utilization, and maybe most importantly, anomaly detection becomes far easier. So also by listening to our partners, we developed an intelligent adjustment of reporting frequency. So we do not have to make too many compromises with battery life for our self-powered devices. As you know, cold chain products require constant monitoring and attention to ensure their stability, especially now when more sensitive products such as COVID vaccines bring additional complexity and expanded risk. By deploying Quecling devices, all of the key players in the chain, so suppliers, customers, and also governments imposing regulations, can have a continuous insight of the products, giving them the information that they need to identify and maintain the integrity of the shipment in real time. Also, Manuel mentioned, let's say, air shipping. So we know that high-value cold chain cargo usually is shipped by air to ensure on-time delivery. So for these cases, the automatic switch to airplane mode is a must-have now. So we designed the safe flight mode function to detect and automatically disable GSM based on the GPS altitude and speed parameters. This function also allows a hold-off interval before re-enabling the GSM functionality when the airplane lands. So also important thing is that our cold chain trackers will continue to log the location and environmental data in flight and automatically send the data to the back office as soon as the device connects again. So this, of course, brings much value to long distance cold chain shipments, because you can still pinpoint the problems later on, even though the device was offline. So this function actually is implemented into our GL300 series, GL500 series, and a few custom ones. So let's move on to the next slide. Manuel, thanks. In terms of the benefits working with Quecling, so there are some points we should address. So we all know that cold chain is a pretty big business, and the stakes can be very high. So the implications of a poorly maintained and monitored cold chain can also go beyond monetary losses. for example, food or drugs that fall outside of the temperature tolerances can also pose something of a hidden risk. So they may become tainted with the bacteria, even though they may not be visibly spoiled. So you can imagine, after finding their way into the hands of a consumer or patient, these goods can cause some serious problems, for example, illness or even worse. So in terms of that, visibility is very important, and you can prevent most of the frequent situations that that can include, for example, cold chain hardware failure due to low maintenance or just losing power, vehicle breakdown, whether it is a ship or a truck or even an airplane. So you can have an instant overview of what is happening and react. And also some of the cases include the security overlook. So when the lack of effective security measures could affect the supply chain's integrity. So that also increases the likelihood of damage that you would never know about if you didn't have some sort of digital, some sort of overview of the situation. So these and numerous other situations can be easily prevented by introducing a digital supply chain, which is enabled by Queclink hardware. Also, one important thing is compliance, and we all know that the governments and regulatory bodies are increasingly mandating that the food products and especially now medical shipments are both traceable and monitored during the shipment. And from ecological to customs and the legal compliance, we ensure that these requirements are met by offering excellent visibility of the process in real time. Also, important thing is responsibility, and by introducing a digital supply chain, this delivers a significant value by orchestrating timely handoffs between trading partners. So, for example, very often the weakest link in any cold chain is typically at the transfer points. So where the goods change transportation modes or are staged to be offloaded at the manufacturing facility, warehouse, or a store. An example, when goods are unloaded from a temperature-controlled airplane or ocean vessel, only to sit on a hot tarmac or a dock for hours or even days, because a refrigerated carrier wasn't waiting to pick it up. So you can imagine what happens with the shipment. So the responsibility for these situations can be easily determined with the correct data from our trackers. So in the end of this this segment, to sum up the points that we mentioned before, and then we'll go on to the practical part. The main thing that we should mention is that we are carefully listening to our customers for years now in this industry, and we make sure that we do our part, giving them reliable data so they can make better decisions when presented with their daily challenges. So actually, all this that we mentioned, the wide portfolio, Gabby mentioned customization. Of course, we should mention our FAE team, which is working closely with the sales and with our customers, of course, and our regional offices to support our clients everywhere in the world, actually. But we're talking now about Europe and Middle East. So the main thing that I would say that we are oriented towards our partners, and by listening to them and listening all these issues that they have for years now, we try to, and I believe we managed to gather a wide portfolio of devices for fleet management and for asset tracking, which both are very important for cold chain logistics. So I would say we are very customer centered, and we gather all the information from the market and from our clients, so we can make our solutions as reliable as reliable as possible. So before letting you to hear more about devices, I can tell you a short success story, a personal success story. Actually, I was a client of Queclink before I started working here. So you can see how Queclink is open to their customers, and it's a pleasure to be a part of the team. So thanks again, and Manuel, back to you.
Yeah,
Ivan.
and thanks to you for joining.
Yeah. Even some of our attendees know that I was working as a service provider before joining Queclink, and actually we were acquiring devices from Queclink, and that was the main reason I joined, because I have an excellent experience working with the sales, with FAE, with the guys from Shanghai. So
Ivan, I think after this advertisement, we're going to receive from our customers.
but actually, the story is true, So I'm glad to be a part of the team, and I had the chance to be on both sides,
Good.
to be your customer and to work with you, and actually I see the same thing. So very glad to be a part of the team.
That's good. It's good. It's good to hear that, Ivan. Of course, we're very happy to have you, and we're very happy that you joined our sales team.
Okay, good. Thank you very much, guys. So we actually are seeing a bunch of questions on the chat, more related to the product, let's say about the sensors, some specifications, or the distances that can be measured. So I believe we will answer most of these things right now in the next section when we speak about specific products. So yeah, I think my colleagues Taha and Abrar will answer most of them. Still, if something is not answered, we can later check it on the Q&A session. But we will go to the next section now, and yeah, here now we're going more specific about the cold chain product recommendation. And as I mentioned, now my colleagues Taha and Abrar will present it. So I'll leave you in good hands.
Okay, thank you, Manuel, for the warm introduction. So hello all, I hope you're finding the webinar interesting and enjoying so far. I can see the number of audience is still maintained, and I can see a few new joinees as well. And a few of them have already started throwing their questions, and our team is busy answering them. That's a good sign, but unfortunately, I cannot see any questions from the Middle East side, especially KSA clients. I can see many of them have already joined. So please ask your questions, because this is a golden opportunity, because you have got all the experts in one frame, and especially the projects going on in KSA with SFDA and for warehouse monitoring and pharmaceuticals monitoring. This is a good chance for you to throw questions at our experts. So I'm expecting more questions, audience, please. So yeah, I'm Abrar Parker, international sales manager for Middle East, being based in Dubai, and being based in one of the most hot and humid regions of the world, that is Middle East, wherein we experience 45 to 50 plus degrees of temperature. So that's real hot. And this year it was the hottest summer for us. And many would relate to me. And I do understand the needs and scope for cold chain solution, as I just mentioned about the projects going on in the Middle East for cold chain monitoring. So be it hot or cold, it's need to be monitored. And that's the reason we all are here, to explore more about the cold chain recommended products or the solutions that Queclink has to offer to the market. So as my colleagues have rightly explained in the preceding slides about the vast subject of cold chain, by effectively covering the pain points or the challenges, or for that matter, the solutions as well. So now I would like to highlight and present certain recommended device models and external peripherals, sensors from Queclink that can help you achieve the desired results. And for this, I will be having my FA colleague based in Shanghai, Taha Boris, who has been assisting me in the Middle East market. So we are actively involved in this kind of solutions and have been continuously talking to the customer here. And we will also be sharing certain use cases or applications on the go. So as you can see on the screen, we at QuickLink have developed and bring you a wide range of solutions for cold chain that can serve effective given diverse market requirements. So these solutions are being effectively used by our clients across the globe. And let's understand them a bit more in detail. So like be it standalone battery powered trackers or hardwired telematics devices with ability to connect external peripherals or sensors irrespective of the cellular technology. So be it 2G, 3G, 4G or other technologies like LoRa or Sigfox, we have it all covered. So as you can see on the screen, we have categorized these solutions into three. That is cost effective, then the advanced telemetry, and the battery powered asset trackers. So I think I'm gonna get more questions from the audience after getting into this portfolio, and I'm expecting more questions. So audience, please write your questions in the Q&A section, because now this is gonna be more practical, and you will get to explore more about the QuickLinks portfolio. So I think we are quite familiar with the wired temperature sensors, or for that matter, the wireless temperature and humidity monitoring solutions via the BLE sensors. So however, we at QuickLink understand diverse market needs and solutions that can put in place considering several factors. So besides the standard devices or solutions, we also do customization, as Gabby has already mentioned to you guys, based on clients' requests for certain special projects. So hence we have a solution, or for that matter solutions, because as you can see that it's not a one standard solution. We have solutions that are being developed and effectively being deployed in the markets based on the on-field scenarios. So to give you just about our cost-effective solution, you can see on the screen our GU56 cost-effective yet versatile GPS tracker, which is widely used by our clients across the globe for numerous fleet management applications. And to be very precise, the BLE sensors, like temperature and humidity sensor, as you can see, like WTH300, or for that matter, the one wire sensor, which is very generic and common. And also other BLE sensors like BLE fuel level sensors from our third party partners. So I have certain clients, just to mention, from India and also the Middle East, who are effectively deploying this model in the market, and they have also joined this webinar, and surely they are listening to me. So we are already deploying this kind of solution. So that's more generic, or I would say cost-effective solution we are deploying. So like GU56, we have certain other models which are advanced telematics device models like GV300 series, as you can see in the screen. Which is capable of connecting the wired sensor, that is the one wire temperature sensor, and also the BLE, as well as the other RF sensor, which I will be discussing in some time. So we have like devices which are capable to connect this kind of external peripherals over BLE or the one wire sensors. So now moving ahead, one level up towards the advanced telemetry, that is the one you can see on the screen. I believe not everyone is well versed with the RF sensors, that is the radio frequency based solution for cold chain. And we at QuickLink have developed a solution wherein we connect our advanced vehicle trackers like GV800, which is our flagship tracker. And I think most of our customers, especially in KSA, are already using that device, also in the Europe and US region. Apart from that, the GV300 series, which has the capability to connect to these RF sensors with the help of a transceiver. And this RF temperature and humidity sensors, they operate on 433 megahertz frequency and can effectively retrieve the temperature and humidity data. So here we have a WTH100, as you can see on the screen, which is RF-based temperature and humidity monitoring sensors connected to this device, like the advanced trackers. And I do have a partner in KSA who is already deploying this solution for cold chain application for 5+ years now. and I hope they are listening to me today. Unfortunately, I cannot mention the name, and I'm recently they ordered few more units of this RF temperature sensor. So they are quite happy, and they have been deploying this kind of solution for 5+ years now. And yeah, the standalone battery powered trackers. Now this is my favorite solution, and many in the audience would relate to me because it's portable, easy to install, long battery life, and less headache to say, which makes these devices a must-have in your solutions portfolio, especially when it has the capacity to connect to BLE temperature sensors and other external peripherals. So QuickLink, as my friends in the preceding slides have mentioned, that we have been leader in the battery power asset trackers across different technologies, be it 2G, 3G, now 4G, wherein we are helping the transition from 2G to 4G as well, and other technologies like LoRa and Sigfox. So we will discuss more in detail about these devices in further slides. Next slide, please, Manuel. Now moving ahead to sensors, an integral part of the whole solution. So we have now a wide range of our in-house sensors and accessories, wired or wireless, be it BLE temperature sensor, or for that matter, the RF sensor, one-wire temperature sensor. We have them in our portfolio. Besides this, we do understand the market trends, and in order to bring you specialized solutions, we have always been partnering with industry experts in this segment, especially the sensors category. And we have numerous third-party sensors integrated with our devices as well. So we are always open for integration to provide the best possible solutions to our partners. And I think many of our partners can vouch about it, that we are always open for this kind of integration. So now that I have already given you a brief about what we have to offer, now let's understand the technical nuances of this solution. It's time for me to welcome my friend based in Shanghai, Mr. Taha Boris, who is very much well-versed with this kind of solution, and he will be explaining in depth about the solutions portfolio, be it the QuickLink hardware, the wired devices, the wired sensors, the telematics devices, and the standalone battery power trackers. So Taha, I know you have been waiting for me. Just grab a quick sip of your coffee, and it's time for you to unveil the large product portfolio that we have for our audience. Over to you, Taha.
Thank you, Abrar. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So one of the points actually Abrar mentioned the tracker, which means that battery chain. Hello, Mark. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Thank
I
you.
hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Hello again. Manuel, can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah. So you can hear me. I can see. That's good. So one of the things that Abrar just mentioned, we are leading company for asset tracker, which means that building battery or battery powered building devices. So as you know, if we have, for example, or we need that the device, it will stand by for a very long time, it means that you need a very big battery. So having big battery means you have very big shape of the tracker, which means that in this contradict, I say we are proud as QuickLink that our R&D team that can solve this puzzle and give us a device that can stand by for very, very long time, like up to 10 years, sometimes with a very good shape or suitable shape. So for example, let's see the GL52S. So the shape of this device is almost like half of your credit cards, and it can last for 4 years or more than that if you are using one report at a time. So this device is micro-sized. It can send data through Sigfox. So if you have your Sigfox network well covered in the area, just go with this device and put it somewhere, can be hidden, and go on with your tracking application. So it supports Bluetooth. You can connect it with different accessories, and it will be very good solution for cold chain applications. So the next one, which is the favorite one that Abner mentioned, is the GL500 series, and one of the best seller for cold chain in quick links. So these devices also are suitable in shape, a little bit bigger than the micro one, and also can support LTE, Cat-M1, NB-IoT, and fallback to 2G, and can cover all the bands needed in Europe, at the same time needed in Middle East. So which means that if you are roaming between regions in Europe or Middle East, you don't need to care about your available products or goods. Yeah, so the IP67 is an addition for these products because it's an asset tracker. It's an easy installation, so you can install it inside or outside the tracker, just fit it and forget it. Yeah, so one of the powerful things also about this device, and I can see one of our attendees, Mohammed, asked me about this. He said, do you have a tracker with built-in temperature sensor at the same time? Yes, so this is the answer for you, Mohammed. This is the tracker that is built-in temperature sensor. So you can use this tracker as a sensor at the same time tracker. So like just put it in a box in the cargo inside your goods and go on. So which means that all built-in one. Yeah, so for GL500MG, we have a non-rechargeable battery device. So which means that you need to replace your battery, and it can stand by for a very long time, up to 7 years if you are depending only on cellular networks. So because as I mentioned, it's one of the best seller. Some of our customers, they're asking, can we have the same products but with charging battery? So we innovate another version for this device, is a little bit less in battery standby time, but at the same time it can be charged wirelessly. So which means that you don't need any cables, no headaches. Just put the device on the below or shown key charger. You can charge, in this case, 5 devices at once, which means that in some scenarios, your tracker or your cargo is just stopping in some checkpoints. So you can just take your devices from the cargo and charge them within 3-4 hours, and you don't. And at the same time, you can reuse the device another time, whatever you need. So the other device is the asset tracker. This is our newly product. You can see it later in the roadmap. This device is a little bit bigger in the shape and is designed actually to be very suitable with the trailer, with the container shape. What I mean is, as you know, the container is, the wall is designed to be in cells. So the device can be inserted inside the cells and can be very fitted to be installed there with using lanyard kit or using a magnet to be installed there. So it is more enhanced in terms of waterproof or also the shocking. So this is why it is more designed for trailer and trucks. The battery is very big, I can say, in all QuickLink portfolio compared. Also, I can also tell in all the markets for GPS tracker or asset tracker, certainly. The device can stand by for 10 years and also can, if it is working on continuous mode, it can stay for a year, for a month as compared to normal devices. So this device as well is enhanced with BLE 5.2, if you notice, compared to the other trackers, which means that you have a better transmission penetration, better transmission range, and you can have a mesh product with this tracker at the same time. Yeah, so let's see in the next slide how we can use this asset tracker. Very simple in a topological graph. So very easy. You can just take device, install SIM card, and attach it inside or outside the container. So in this case, for example, we are showing you how to use the GL501MG. So just getting a magnet, attach it to the device, and attach it to the wall of the container. At the same time, you have different, or your cargo is loaded inside the the container, fridge container, 40 feet container, and then just put your sensors. So your sensor will be pre-configured with the MAC address to the GL500MG. So it will transmit data every 1 second, such that you don't need to worry about your products, or it can be very updated with what is happening with the temperature of your foods, of your beverage, of your available products. So yeah, so the data will be sent every 1 second, and the GL500MG or 501MG will collect this data and transmit it based on time manner, based on mileage, distance, or combined mileage and timing. So this data will be transmitted to the end applications, let's say tracking platform or API, or based on applications. So it will be through TCP, your UDP, or the simplest way, SMS. So it will be also the reports combined with GNSS signal. So the device will send you temperature data. It's combined with the GNSS coordinates, and also combined with other needed events. For example, one of the things I need to mention here, is worthy to mention, is that we are using something called power saving mode in this device that allow the device to stand by for a long time. So for example, if there is any change in the temperature in your good, like significant change, it will wake up the GL500MG and transfer from power saving mode to continuous mode. And then the device will start to send you data frequently to the central part of the tracking application. So in this way, from that part, they can inform the driver and tell him what is happening there in order to not lose your valuable goods. Another thing, this device, as I said, contains flight alarm. So it can detect temper. If someone take the device or detach it from the container, an alarm will be sent directly to the end applications. And different alarms are built in the same device firmware, so it will reduce the workload for your software, like geofencing, like different alarms. So the last thing here in this topological part also I can mention is, for example, you can use a KFOB, which is to identify which driver is carrying your goods. So very easy. Give this KFOB with the key. Maybe you can ask me here. There is no cable or accessory called.
I think we're having some issues with that, but yeah, here what he's mentioning right now, it's about this accessory that you're seeing, the WKF300, which is a wireless key fob that can be used for driver ID or as a wireless SOS button. So yeah, this another of our BLE-based accessories. And I think I can use the chance to answer another question that we saw on the chat from Colin, asking if we have any GL devices with inputs, outputs. And Marino already mentioned we have a wireless I/O controller. So answering Colin questions, this a Bluetooth I/O expander, which connects wirelessly to the GL devices, and then you can have some inputs and outputs to work together with the asset tracker.
Hello, Manuel. Can you hear me again? I'm back.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm very sorry. So this is somehow a Zoom problem in China. I'm very sorry about this. Yeah. So I think the last point you heard about the KFOB. if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So as I said, this K-fob, it will be pre-configured with the GL500MG and with specific ID. So if the driver take this K-fob and, for example, just ignition on the trucks, if it is not known by the GL500MG or recognized by the GL500MG, GL500MG will, for example, very simply send an output through Bluetooth to the expander, which is output expander connected to the relay, and go on. So then the engine will be blocked very easy. Yeah, so if you are not, you don't understand about this yet, please let me know on questions. We can introduce this application for you in depth. Yeah, so if we move to the next slide, we can give, yeah, Alejandro.
Yeah, it's me, it's Alejandro. You know, when we talk to the customers, especially about these kind of devices or solutions for asset tracking inside the containers or inside the trailers or the trucks, especially the engineers are a little bit skeptical, and they don't believe that our devices can transmit the information, can get the GPS. Can you share with us a little bit about your experience testing these devices, so our customers can believe on this kind of application?
Yes, sure. It's a good question, by the way. So I think you asked the question for the right person, because if you notice, Guy, from the first slide, I was in that picture actually. I was making extensive tests with our FAE team here for the tracker and the sensor inside the trucks. Yeah, we know there is some shortage if you put the device or the tracker inside the container or whatever. It will I mean, the GPS signal receiving will be almost non-visible. So what you're gonna do in this case is very simple. The first thing, you need to get fixed outside for 15 minutes at least, for example, get very good GPS signal, and then insert the device inside the container. So at the same time, we are using a GPS chipset that can receive very, very weak signal. So what I'm telling you, get the GPS fix outside, put it inside, and then the device is able to receive the weakest GPS signal or GNSS as well, or GSM LTE. And in this case, you will be always updated with your cargoes.
Good. Thank you, Ta. And also, I think maybe just to complement your answer, and based on the experience from our customers, when the most problematic signal to get is the GPS, but also our devices have the cell ID capabilities. So with the cell ID, we can also get the location based on the triangulation of the towers.
Exactly. So the data that has been sent, we are mentioning that it's sent along with GPS data, cell ID data, temperature data, power battery data. All these data are combined in one report. So, yeah.
Yes. And as I always say at the trade shows, I mean, as I mentioned, the engineers are the most skeptical about all this. But the best way to prove that the devices work or they don't have any problem with this kind of issues is just to order in the samples. And when the customer receives the samples, they can confirm and make sure that the device always is working, even inside the trailers and this kind of application. So if you guys are still skeptical about this, please order samples and test the products.
Yeah, I agree with Alejandro. Yeah, so if we continue to the next slide, so a bit faster, we can have the second choice for you that we choose for cold chain solutions. So in this case, our vehicle tracking applications. So what I mean is you need some expert or technical knowledge about how to install the devices, because it's not the same as asset tracking devices or portable devices. So in this case, we have, different products in the portfolio as well. The first one that already Abra mentioned is GB56, is cost effective, and it can be connected with one wire for temperature sensor, and at the same time with up to 10 wireless or BLE temperature and the humidity sensors. And other products, we can go with the GB100MG. So this device is very easy and very simple for installation as well, compared to the vehicle tracking. You need just to put the battery on the or the device on the battery of your car, or whatever. You can have an external power. So it can support BLE. In this case, you can use it for cold chain solution. So the good thing about this device, it is mostly used for UBI insurance. So you can have, or you can monitor your driver behavior in very accurate way. Yeah, so the other devices are Pro devices with multiple inputs, outputs. For GB300, it's one of the, or the best seller, and successful deployments products. This is why we invent different products based on network. We have in 2G, 3G, 4G. We have Cat-M1, and also we have the version for Cat1 and Cat4 as well. So this device is, along with GB600, can support RS-232. So you can connect different prefillers for this device, along with the cold chain solutions that you will use. For GB600MG is more ruggedized, and you can use it, for example, outside the trailer for the applications, and also different inputs, outputs can support for this device as well. So another topology, we can go to the next slide, maybe to see how this vehicle tracking application is used. So you can take it the same as the portable device. So just a few things I want to mention here. For example, if we are taking the GB600MG, you can just install it down of the truck's container, or also in any place. You are flexible to be used. So the good thing about this device can be, or can support, two external sources of power. So for example, you can install the device with the light source, or you can take the power from the light source of the trailer at the same time from the engine. So this will allow the device to know or never losing power, and at the same time it can charge very fast. And also this device can support very big batteries. So you can be able to use the device as a portable tracker as well, because it can stand up for very long time, like different months based on battery. Yeah, so as I said, just installing the device, be down of the container. You have different accessories that can be used with your cargoes. So in this case, you are flexible. You have the BLE sensors, and also you can use RF sensor, radio frequency, if you are using a very big or large container and you are worrying about the transmission of the BLE. So in this case, the 433 RF sensors can help you to penetrate the wall of the cargoes and go to the device successfully. So also you can use one wire and put it inside, and here we go. So you have a device that can be connected with RF, BLE, and one wire temperature and the humidity sensor. At the same time, if you want to go a bit pro, it's very simple. The device, as I said, having different inputs, outputs. So also RS-232, you can go with the fuel sensor. You can go with the CAN bus reader to get your CAN bus data for fuel level in order to low cost your cargo or your truck maintenance. Yeah, so the other things can be considered as the same for the portable tracker, just transmitting the data to the end application with combined different data. So yeah, so the good thing, you can install also a weight sensor with the same device. So in order to know what is the load, or if you are exceeding the load of the container, in order to avoid any external fines from governments. So for this part, I finished to introduce for you the product side. And if you have any question, feel free to reach us, of course. And I give the line to Mark in order to go to the roadmap and also for the other slides.
Hey,
Yes,
Taha,
Mark.
Taha, you are the expert for all these devices. You are all the time testing the different products in cold chain business. So what is your favorite device?
I cannot tell, but I can say GL500MG. Okay.
Why?
So actually we cannot tell between these devices because it depends on customer or clients what he wants to use. For example, if he wants to go with a ruggedized device with external peripheral, go with GB600MG. If you want a simple device, go with portable tracker or GB100. So it depends what the customer need exactly. The only thing that what we ensure is the good performance that we can give to our clients. That's all.
Taha,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
there's something that I want you to also brief about. As you know that we have been working in the Middle East, and especially KSA, wherein the project for SFDI is on, wherein they are looking for a solution for warehouse temperature humidity monitoring. I can see a few questions as well with regards to the monitoring of temperature and humidity in the warehouses. So if you can just give some inputs of from your side, like what solution from Quicklink can be recommended, and what all possible solutions they can deploy for the warehouses.
Yeah, okay, Abrar. So for warehouses also, we have different clients that actually there is success story that will be described by Mark that we use for warehouse. You can use asset tracker or portable tracker, for example, as a gateway, install it somewhere in line of sight. And at the same time, you can use our sensors or third-party sensors in the warehouse, and very simple application. Just the good thing that the device or the tracker can receive up to 10 BLE sensors. And if you want to go with more than this, you can use RF devices that we can integrate more numbers for you for this warehouse. So very simple. Use a gateway as GPS tracker, and you have sensor to be used there. So there is one story, it will be mentioned by Mark later, which is using of GL500MG with WTH300.
Thanks, Taha. No, I'm really confused. I don't know what I'll talk about. All right. So I guess, Manuel, are you happy with me to go ahead?
Yeah, perfect. So now Mario will present the success story and a brief presentation about the upcoming roadmap. I guess also you can use the chance to answer some questions that are on the chat related to the Sigfox device. Some people is asking about LoRa One devices. So I think Marian will be the right person to answer these questions during this section.
Perfect. Okay, so let's just go to the next slide then. Excellent. First of all, thank you very much for sticking with us. I know it's, yeah, we've been going on for quite a bit of time. We all know what it's like when you go to those shows and all of that, when we can meet person to person. So it's a little bit of a different one. Maybe we should sit down and have a coffee next time that we meet. All right. So from my colleagues, you've heard a lot of different devices, options, and solutions. So I hope you're sticking with us and enjoying all the different multicultural accents which you've heard. But jokes aside, let me now introduce a multi-million-dollar success story, which is on screen at the moment. So we had an interesting use case presented to us, which is related to a component shortage issue that was introduced by Alejandro earlier. In this situation, some of the very expensive equipment used to produce the components also had its minimum and maximum temperature thresholds to consider. This equipment can cost millions of dollars to replace, so tender love and care is very critical in this situation. I'm not talking only about the use case of the machines, however, but also the transportation, which can have a major impact on the quality of products produced. We're well aware of how the manufacturing process and manufacturing product lines are critical on timing. So keeping the manufacturing tools in their optimal rating was important to the customer to avoid any unnecessary delays or repairs. So finally, how did we solve this? We go to the next slide, yeah. Using a simple, inexpensive solution, as opposed to the product transported, we came up with multiple device and accessory solution to meet the requirements for this customer. So I'd like to introduce to you a familiar device as introduced previously by Taha and rated as his favorite device, the GL500MG, which used in a combination with a wireless temperature humidity sensor, the WTH300, the little white sensor on there. The device we're familiar with already has built-in temperature and humidity sensors inside it. So the GL500MG has those two sensors inside it, and then using up to 10 external sensors made this solution an ideal one for the customer. Our asset tracking device has a very long list of features, including the transportation mode presented earlier, and up to 7 years battery life. In combination with a built-in temperature humidity sensor, as well as external sensors, the device was perfect in reporting environmental thresholds inside and outside of the transportation packaging. The use case presented here included a combination of the device and accessory placed on the inside and outside of the packaging transportation crate. You can see that on the image there as well. So what next? Moving slightly on from this particular situation, I'd also like to present some of the other familiar applications which can benefit from the same solution. So using the GL500MG in combination with external sensors, we can process many alerts such as water leak detection, moisture, and theft in transportation or storage. Considering the benefits of such a solution, we consider the optimizations for the transportation industry are visible in the short term, not considering damages and issues that can occur and were presented earlier in my ethnic or Australian accent for a multi-million-dollar success story. So looking ahead beyond the content you've seen so far, I'd like to now show you a recap of where we are and where we are heading by sharing with you the QuickLink product roadmap. Now, this will answer some of the questions that we've seen in the questions section about different products. So we'll go to the next slide. Yeah. Okay. So with a growing number and over 75 devices in the QuickLink range, it's easy to see that there is many different applications and possibilities. For this purpose, we've separated a short list of devices into 3 groups: transportation, asset mobility, and networks, which we consider all to be relevant to the cold chain and transportation industry. As I can imagine now, over the past hour, there was a lot of information provided. So hearing about IOs, modems, and wiring configurations is not really on anybody's wanted list. Well, maybe some, looking at the attendees that I can see. But please stick with me for a few more minutes before we head to the Q&A section. Starting with the transportation industry, a few of you may be aware of the GB50 and the GB100MG devices currently on offer. These are easy to install, compact sized devices, which are proven in transportation using LTE Cat-M1, NB-IoT, that answers one of the questions on Q&A as well, and supporting 2G fallback. Devices coming up in the market and ideally suited for transportation applications are the GB300 CEU and the GB350 CEU, both supporting LTE Cat 1 in this case, with 2G fallback. These two devices are based on EMEA bands, with the latter of the two supporting additional CAN bus connectivity, and the one thing that I said I wouldn't talk about, additional IOs. In this list, we've also got the GB57 MG, an IP67 device, but working on LTE Cat M1, and the very new Queclink dual camera solution featuring Cat 4 connectivity with 3G and 2G fallback. This camera solution incorporates a fully functioning tracking device with a real-time and event-controlled recording for the additional security, and also has a very handy Wi-Fi hotspot feature, which is always useful for SIM card data pools. I think this is actually a really, really good feature. So when moving along, we need to consider asset and mobility. So let's look at what we have now and what is coming up in a self-powered tracking devices. As you can see in the product in the market section, we have a long standby devices such as the GL500MG, which you saw earlier, and the rechargeable version, which is the GL501MG. Their little brother, the GL50MG, is just above, but has a smaller size battery with standby time of 3 years. It, however, has IP67, and due to the small size, it can be installed in various locations. Now, this device, the GL50MG, is the LTE response to the original GL50B device, which has a success story of its own. I'm sure some of you are very aware of this device. Okay, as we know, technology has always been moving quickly. I always try to forget my 3210 mobile phone. But let's stick with the new technologies such as LoRa, 433, 5G, and Sigfox, which Queclink has in this product range. If you're not up to date on these products, please follow us on LinkedIn so you can be notified of newly released products. The Sigfox and the LoRa products were actually released on there. And just the other day, there was a post about the GL52SP device, which is now certified as a Class 0U device on the Sigfox network. So using different connection methods, we also achieve 4 years battery life from very small size devices. So this is the GL52S, the GL52LP, and the GL52SP. Size, however, does sometimes matter. Okay, so we're now also releasing the GL502 device, the GL502MG device, which has IP67 rating and has a battery life of up to 10 years. And now moving on to our network section, I'd also like to present Queclink solutions being released very, very shortly. I know I said I wouldn't talk about modems, but since I already crossed the line previously, I will briefly present to you the router selections which Queclink is releasing. We have 3 different models and in the industrial router section. The WR100LG, which I'll start off with first, is a simple lightweight router working on Cat 4 with 4G, 3G, and 2G connectivity options. Of course, there's also the WAN port and the LAN port, which you always need on a router. This WR100LG also has RS232 and RS485 connections for additional sensors. Okay, now the WR200LG, which is the next one along, is the WR100's bigger brother with additional features, RS232, RS485, and multiple additional IOs, which again, I said I wouldn't talk about. And looking ahead at 2022, we need to start talking about and considering 5G, which is available on the WR300FG router that you can see on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Now, before we close off the network section, you may have noticed that I skipped one device. So I'll introduce the GB501 LG, which is a convenient OBD dongle form factor, works on LTE Cat4 with 3G and 2G fallback. This device is listed in the network section based on its, again, handy Wi-Fi hotspot capability. So you can plug it into the car, share the Wi-Fi hotspot with all the people inside the car, and also have all the standard features that you would expect from a OBD dongle device. So before I go on for too much longer, which I definitely know some people in the attendees list will know I can, I will go on to the next part. So I'd like to note that this is only a small amount of devices presented in the roadmap. But as many of my colleagues explained previously, Queclink is already working on a lot of different customized solutions. So it would be great to hear from you with your requirements. For any further information about these or any other questions, please contact our friendly team who will be more than happy to help. And that's all I've got for you at the moment. So I'd like to hand over the presentation back to Manuel, who will go through to the next section.
Mark,
thank you very much. I guess next time we'll give you an own webinar to present your 75 devices.
Yes, if you want to know about the 75 devices, do you want me to start talking about the home alarm system, which we're going to be launching? Another IoT product in the Queclink evolving product range.
Mark, Manuel, I think I've been checking the question section, and I think that the comments about this new roadmap, the customers are very excited and impressed about this diversity of new products. So some of them are asking, how about the availability for samples? They want to know when the samples will be ready. And this is the first question. And the other question is related to the GL502MG, the container tracking. George is asking if this product is designed for internal or external installation.
Sorry, yes, Alejandro. So yeah, we've got different products on offer. So the devices can be installed. So some of the IP67 rated devices, for example, or the IP67 rated device can be installed externally. Internally, we've also got other GL series devices, such as the GL50B, which I proposed earlier, which can be installed in internal environments. And this is because it doesn't have any IP rating. And this goes along with the sensors. So I don't know if you, well, maybe you've heard the success story all too many times, but inside the crate situation, we had a sensor inside. So we had the device inside the crate, and we had external sensors outside of the crate. So we can normally satisfy all the requirements from the customer.
Mark, George is asking about the GL502MG. He's asking if this device is designed to be installed internally or externally out of the container.
Oh, right. So that's an external device. That's an IP68 device.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. How about the samples availability?
At the moment, the samples will be available very, very soon. But I guess the sales contact will be able to know more. I mean, the technical
if
team,
you have questions about getting samples, you can please contact any of the guys here on the commercial team, or you can reach out to us either on LinkedIn or any other way. We will leave again our emails on the chat. So yeah, if you're interested in samples of any of the devices that we have mentioned, just reach out to us and we will arrange it. I see one more question here from Javier. I will read it, Marian, for you to give some insights. It says, I guess we're already jumping in. finally to the Q&A session with the questions that are missing. So also, guys, if you feel like some question was not fully answered or you have new questions, like it's the correct moment to write them, and we will answer right now. So it says from Javier, in the cold chain solution proposed, I missed connection to the thermographs or even connectivity to cooling machines to get temperatures from certified equipment and status of cooling machines, like engine hours, engine status, fuel tank level, set point temperature, return temperature, or discharge temperature. Are there any plans to bring this via quaking devices and accessories?
So I guess what we're talking about there is something like those portable compressors. So I'm originally from Australia. Oh, sorry. I'm originally from Croatia, went to Australia, then came back to Croatia. But living in Australia for a long time, I actually worked on some projects with customers that had portable compressors. So, portable compressors and generators. Now, on these generators, it's very, very critical to know the temperature, but also to know the engine hours, because keeping these sort of things at their optimal, you need to always service them. So, yes, there is devices that we can connect to external temperature sensors, and also have CAN bus connectivity to read the data from the machine that's being tracked. So, in my situation, that was these generators, these portable generators. They use for those big Australian mine sites.
Javier,
I think
maybe if you can also comment, Javier, on the chat or something. I also assume you might be thinking of other type of refrigeration systems like Thermo King or Carrier, this type of cooling systems for the trucks. So I guess it's very similar to what Martin is mentioning. A lot of times these have some kind of like CAN bus connection. So I mean, we can evaluate this part, especially I would say with some of our fleet units. But yeah, if you can later give us some more specific information, it would be great to correctly evaluate it. But this is doable.
Okay, so yeah, traditionally, I mean, we did go through the customization options, as Gabriela pointed out before. So I'm sure if there is a particular sensor that you would want to connect to, which I'm actually working on a case for another customer in the UK recently, we can have a look at the sensor, we can have a look at the type of data that's provided by the sensor, and then integrate them to our devices. So this is in the customization list on what Quaking can do. And I mean, not only modifying devices, but also integration with additional sensors.
Okay, and you hear Javier is telling, yeah, exactly. I was asking for connectivity to Thermo King and Carrier. So yeah, I mean, in general, it's very similar to what Marian mentioned. So I mean, this can be evaluated for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Manuel, I think this question from Javier is more related to the CAN bus connectivity and this special type of cars or a special type of trailers. We need to get we can use we can do an OEM case, because we need to be able to read the Thermo King and Carrier. So yes, we could do this kind of projects, but this is a special protocol.
Okay, clear. In any case, Javier will be good to speak later. But yeah, we can talk about it. Some people was asking some more information about the routers, but yeah, already was answered about sharing more information. So let's see. I don't see any new questions on the chat. So if anyone has more doubts, question, or something that it's pending to answer, still you have the chance.
Yeah, for Javier, you can contact me. I think we've been in contact before in regards to the special sensors. yeah, we can certainly talk about the application and the use case in the Netherlands, I believe.
Okay, good. Now I see a new question. It says, does QuakeLink support EuroSense degree Bluetooth wireless tilt angle sensor? And here I can tell you that, I mean, Bluetooth sensors in general, we can integrate any that you are considering or currently use. It's just a matter of making some slight changes on the firmware. We have some tilt angle sensors already integrated. So this dual, I assume you're speaking with Abra. So definitely we can do this type of thing.
Yes, Manuel, I want to add something about this question. Yeah, we already integrated this kind of sensor with TV656, that is cost-effective devices. So we have sender firmware that can really support the tilt angle from EuroSense. So also, as Manuel mentioned, that we are open for any integration. So what you need to do is very simple. Just send us your protocol. We can evaluate it by our R&D team and give you back if we can integrate it or not. In most of cases, yes. So this is very, very simple steps to go through it.
Okay, thank you very much, Taha. And now check, I think that's all questions for now. Just some people thanking us for the answers. Just I see one more question on the chat. Just can you give me more details about the router? So yeah, we'll send more information. We have your emails. So please, we will reach out soon. We will recheck all the questions also. In case we miss something, we will share this presentation with you as we mentioned before. So yeah, we thank you very much for attending this webinar, for staying until the end. So thanks a lot. If you have any other questions, we can speak later one-on-one. So yeah, thanks again, and thank you also to the panelists, to the speakers today, and very happy to share with you these spaces.
Yeah, just I think it's important to note also that for anybody that's interested in having this webinar link to share within your team, just let us know and we'll be able to share this with you.
Yeah, Manuel and guys, I see also a lot of people asking for the device manager tool. If QuakeLink can provide this kind of software to manage the devices and upgrade the firmware. Maybe Mark, before we leave and before we say goodbye, maybe you can just reply this question.
Yeah, certainly. So quite a few of you will know that we actually have a QuakeLink management system that we can use to connect devices to. So this QuakeLink management system or the platform is used to manage devices, firmware and configurations. So I think some of us may have been in the situation where we needed to update hundreds of devices out in the field, and the QMS system is exactly that. So it allows the possibility to update multiple devices or schedule updates for configuration or firmware over the air at any time. So basically, it's intended to be used in the way that you can set up a task for the QMS system to carry out. Next time that the device reports to the QMS system, it will send it down the commands. So you don't have to be there waiting for the device to connect. It's an automated system to manage the devices. So yeah, if you do need any additional info, you can certainly contact either the support group or the sales group, which you can see the emails on, and we'll provide you more information about this QMS system.
Good, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So yeah, answering to Albert, yeah, we will later send you also the link for the webinar where we're recording it. So yeah, to all the guys thanking us for the presentation, I will say that thank you for attending, for being with us during this morning. So yeah, we appreciate very much having you here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for staying with us for this, was what, about 2 hours, 2 hours and a half webinar. It is very important for us to get to know the feedback. Please send your comments, and we will be happy to keep hosting these kind of webinars now that we are. It's not easy to travel, so it's very important to always stay in touch with all our customers, keep the ears and the eyes open, and yeah, let's stay in touch. Thank you very much for staying with us. Thank you guys for the excellent presentation, and yeah, let's hope to see you all soon after all this pandemic. It's really.
Yeah, I think we'll have a lot more than 2 hours to talk about then.
It's good. They're good. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you guys.
Okay.
Have a great day and stay tuned.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good
Yeah.
day.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good.